Renee, I thought a big change I saw in the second half was maybe Arsenal not playing with the ball in areas where Lyon are very strong at taking it back. Did you talk about perhaps getting the ball forward in fewer passes for the second half?
Yeah, it's always about manipulating, because if you go short, then they will come and there's space higher up the pitch. If you go high up the pitch early, then that will be closed down. So it's always about playing with the opposition and where we see spaces and where we have our qualities. But yeah, of course they are very aggressive, physical, fast in their front line, and across the whole pitch. I think they're probably the most physical team in Europe from all perspectives, so dueling and speed. And yeah, we had to find ways to beat that, or don't play them to their strengths, which I think at times we did it okay, but not consistently well over 90 minutes. So I think the game was dictated more by Lyon than by us.
On a vu des changements pendant la deuxième mi-temps où Arsenal a joué avec moins de risques et essayé de jouer en attaque avec moins de passes et plus directes. Oui, on a essayé de jouer un peu plus... si on joue court, on sait qu'il y a des espaces et des risques, donc on essaie de trouver des espaces de façon différente. On a nos qualités, mais on sait aussi que Lyon est une équipe très agressive, très vite en attaque. C'est peut-être l'équipe la plus physique dans les duels et aussi à niveau de vitesse. On ne voulait pas que Lyon joue avec leur force. On a bien fait dans quelques parties, mais en général, Lyon a dominé le match.
Chris?
Renee, how's the team's confidence at the moment? Are you worried about this kind of run that you're on without a win?
Worried is not the right word, but of course we're not happy with it, and it does something to a group. So the important thing is that we manage that really well and we give direction moving forward and that we stand strong. The positive thing is that we have a strong foundation, and both from a cultural perspective and from a football perspective. And we need to keep on believing in that philosophy, because it gave us a lot of things last year, and when it starts clicking, then we know how good we are. So it's about reinforcing the things that we are still doing well, and then it's about finding the right balance of challenging other things together with the players, so all together, staff and players. So we're critical, but we're also very supportive and positive moving forward with a shared purpose, and that's together finding our highest level again.
Est-ce que vous êtes inquiété par ces résultats récemment? Non, je ne suis pas inquiété, mais je ne suis pas contente non plus. C'est important de bien gérer ces moments. On doit être fort comme équipe. On a la base forte, on sait ça, et on doit continuer à croire dans notre philosophie. On a eu beaucoup de réussite l'année dernière. On veut continuer à répliquer ça. On doit renforcer les choses qu'on a fait bien. Et tous ensemble, ça veut dire avec toutes les joueuses, le staff, tout le monde ici. On peut être critique, mais aussi positif, et ça c'est l'important pour arriver haut.
Amy?
Renee, how different did you find Jonathan's Lyon compared to the one that you played last season? Were you able to use last season's games at all as like analysis, or was it more looking at what they've done this season?
We used last season game as well because of similar players, so especially from a unit and individual perspective to prepare for your opponent. I think they, of course, with a new coach, there's a couple of things that are different, but and I think especially how they manipulate the back line with their movement both in front and behind, that was on a really, really high level today, and that was really hard to defend, which we knew, but they dictated that moment in the game, and then in the second half, I think we compacted the spaces a little bit better. But that will be the one thing. But of course, with the new coach, there's always a couple of details.
Est-ce qu'il y avait des trucs de Lyon de l'année dernière que vous pouviez utiliser cette fois, ou est-ce que le fait que c'est une nouvelle entraîneur, ça a tout changé? Oui, on a utilisé nos expériences de l'année dernière parce qu'il y a quelques joueuses qui sont encore là, et ça nous a aidé à préparer pour le match, mais bien sûr qu'avec un nouvel entraîneur, il y a toujours des trucs différents. Le mouvement en arrière c'était un niveau très haut et c'était difficile de défendre pour nous. Et on sait que Lyon est toujours une bonne équipe. En deuxième mi-temps, on a bien réagi, mais ce n'était pas suffisant ce soir.
Hi Renee, obviously the 2 goals tonight came from kind of errors at the back, I guess you could say, with the passing out. Is there any reason you think why those errors did happen? Is there any lack of confidence? Is there anything with the system, or is it just errors happen from time to time?
Errors happen from time to time, but if they happen, if it's trending in the wrong direction, if they happen too often, then of course there's something there, and it looks silly, I guess, from the outside. But errors are, it's not that all of a sudden they can't pass that ball anymore. So there's different things behind it, and it's sometimes intangible or hard to put your finger on, but it's because it's a mixture of things, and then some things there's a chain reaction or a knock-on effect. What we need to do is look at if we find 1 or 2 things and we start to work with that, then the rest will be lifted as well. So whether that's mental, physical, technical, tactical, the way we train, the way we prepare, all those things, if we find 1 or 2 things, then we're sure that we can, the rest can be lifted with it.
What's the biggest thing?
Okay, we'll just let Mark translate.
Les 2 buts ce soir ont venu de 2 erreurs défensives. Est-ce qu'il y a une raison? Est-ce qu'il y a un manque de confiance? Les erreurs peuvent se passer dans le football, on sait ça. S'il y a une mauvaise tendance, s'il y a quelque chose à analyser, ça peut sembler bête de l'extérieur, mais les joueurs savent encore passer le ballon et elles n'ont pas oublié de faire ça. C'est un mélange de facteurs. Quelquefois, il y a une réaction et pour nous maintenant, c'est important de trouver une ou deux choses, peut-être mentale, physique, tactique ou technique, et comme ça, on va améliorer notre jeu.
Yeah, so what's the biggest thing? You said you might need 1 or 2 things. Is there one thing you think is really important?
Yeah, of course we will discuss that internally. But it's about together clicking on things. I think that's the big one. If I keep it as vague as I can before we meet with the players tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Est-ce qu'il y a une chose ou 2 choses en particulier, parce que vous en avez parlé? Ouais, on va parler de ça tous ensemble et je veux seulement dire qu'on doit connecter les choses avant d'en parler à l'interne.
A couple more, Catherine?
Hi Renee, you got off to such a good start in the game, taking the lead and obviously everything was going really well and then had the 2 errors. Did you think that maybe affected the team's confidence slightly, the fact that the 2 goals came quite quickly and they were both kind of errors in similar parts of the pitch?
Yeah, of course it does something to the players on the pitch, and but what we know about this team is that they've gone through hard times before and they always come back. And I think you saw that in game. They kept on solving problems. They kept on working really hard, and we've seen that over time as well. That when things get hard, they find ways to come back, and I'm very confident that this team will do that.
C'était un bon début avec le premier but, mais après les 2 erreurs en très peu de temps, est-ce que ça a touché la confiance des joueuses? Oui, ça fait quelque chose pour les joueuses sur le terrain, mais c'est aussi vrai qu'on a vécu des moments difficiles dans le passé et on a toujours récupéré. Donc le fait d'avoir déjà vécu ça, je suis sûr qu'on va trouver des solutions.
Tom?
Hi Renee, thanks for speaking to us today. I wonder if you could talk us through the decision to start Taylor Hines tonight over Katie McCabe.
The strength of the squad and different qualities in the squad. Taylor came to us this season. You've seen her feature in a couple of games coming in. She's done well. She does well in training, and she had qualities that we saw that we needed today. And I think overall, especially defensively, she played a good game.
Est-ce que vous pouvez expliquer la décision de jouer Taylor Hines au lieu de Katie McCabe ce soir? Les joueuses ont des qualités différentes et Taylor est nouvelle cette année. Elle fait un très bon travail à l'entraînement et elle avait les qualités dont on avait besoin ce soir.
Last one, Alex?
Hi Renee. What's it like as a manager when your team's on a run like this? How difficult is it for you? Is there something you go to when it's happened to you in the past that you do to try and change it around?
I've been through this as a as a manager, as a player. So you build up experience. But what we've always said, we knew that the team went through hard times last year as well, and then we ended the season on a high with amazing achievement in the Champions League. But what we always said is, what will take us forward in the process is always staying grounded and never too high, never too low, and keep on staying in the present and always find ways, always be very reflective, and that's what we've built, I think, in the club with the staff and players. So that brings me confidence that we won't get too high, too low, and in this situation not too low. So we keep on going and we keep on believing, but we are critical and we have a safe environment where we are on